Multi-species cover crop is just a permanent staple here on J-Tech Farms. In fact, we redesigned our entire crop rotation around a multi-species cover crop that we plant after our wheat's harvested. This year, we have 19 things in the blend from green cover seed. Here's a list of all the different things in there. It's quite the exhaustive list that I can't remember right off the top of my head. Now, there are 3 more things that we're going to add into that I've been just pouring in, mixing in as it goes up into the conveyor, up into the tank, and everything like that. Soybeans, leftover milo, and some turnip seed. I caught green cover in between shipments of turnip seed, and they were out when I was getting mine. So no big deal. Just sprinkle a little bit in as it goes up the conveyor. A little bit with turnip seed goes a long way. And just in case your math isn't all that great, that takes it to 22 species in our blend. However, I am looking to over double that because I have what green cover seed calls a plot in a box. This is one left over from last year. I actually had that planning to do a whole big cover crop plot and everything. Just things went haywire last year and it never got done. Sometimes it's how it is. And I actually got another cover crop plot in a box this year to do a plot with, forgetting that I had that one from last year. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab that box. We're going to open up everything. We're going to mix it all together, and slowly but surely, while everything's going up the conveyor into the tank, we're going to mix every single thing from that plot in the box into our already existing blend. And here's our plot in the box. Now, there's a few things in here that are already going to be in our blend. So I don't know the exact number of everything I have in here, but once I get everything counted, I'll let you know. You ready for the final tally? 50. 50 things in this cover crop blend now. So there's the pile of stuff that I already have in the blend. Quite a bit. Here's everything that I don't have in the blend. Now, are these going to make a huge difference in my cover crop blend? Overall, not really. This one tank full can do like 200-ish acres. So, I mean, you're talking, well, with this teff grass, it's 1 pound of teff grass over 200 acres. So, I mean, yes, teff grass does go a long ways for that 1 pound, but you get what I mean. It's not like it's going to change a whole lot, but it'll be sure fun trying to find some of these different things out in the blend. All right, first step. We're going to get a few buckets full of these soybeans, throw them in there. And I did grab some extra turnips and threw them in there as well. All right, now let's go get some milo. And I'll get a couple scoops of this and pour it in. All right, there's that. Now I just got to grab something to stir all this stuff. There it all is. Now it's time to mix it up. I did forget something. I still have this other pile that I need to throw in. I mean, just because I have those in the blend already doesn't mean I can't throw them in. So, all right, hold on. Come to think of it, there's actually more than 50 things in here, because one of the things that is in our blend is the cucurbit blend. Now, the cucurbits are a whole family, and this blend has, pumpkins, squash, zucchini, cucumbers, watermelon, and gourds. There's a half a dozen things in this blend. So That makes it 55 things, because I originally counted it as one and there's 6 in there. So a 55 weight blend now. Holy buckets. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. This is fantastic. There she is, all blended together. Now it's time to go get the truck, start getting loaded. There we are, all loaded up, ready to go. There's a good close look at it. All sorts of good stuff in here. There's hardly a thing on this planet that makes me happier than a good multi-species cover crop blend. Now, I'd like to get going to plant, but unfortunately yesterday afternoon, I blew an AC line on the tractor, so Prairie Land is here working on it. Hopefully they've got the part and piece of it's like the second worst line to get to, so of course it is. I'm good at that. But as soon as they get it fixed, or hopefully if they get it fixed, I'll get back out and running, and I'll get you guys a bunch of video of me putting all that in the ground, and we will follow up on it throughout the growing season. I am so excited to see what all grows out there, how it all looks. 55 species blend. I'm stoked. That is going to be absolutely incredible once it comes up and can see all of it. While the guys weren't able to get me completely fixed up, they at least made it so I could run, because I was trying to beat a rain that was supposed to show up the next day in the early morning hours that ultimately never showed up. So I ran all night pretty much for nothing, but at least did get some really cool shots of these new wheels running after dark. If you want to know more about these Ryan NT gauge wheels, I do have another full video about them and a whole review on them. While at the time I was happy with how this was planning, there is an issue that is going to affect the stand. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Here we are. 55 species cover crop blend, healthy and growing. It is now about 3-ish weeks after we have planted it, and we're getting some nice biomass growing here. just because we've got a nice bit of biomass here now does not mean that everything's perfect and we have not had a series of challenges to get this thing going. Let me explain. The first issue is, well, user error. If I'm going to discuss problems, I'm going to point to mine first. I should have been planting it deeper. Typically, I plant cover crop at 1.5 inches. Now, for some of you, you're like, whoa. Aren't there a lot of varieties that only like to be planted 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep? Yes, you are right. However, I have good luck with all that stuff coming up. There's even clover that comes up from 1.5 inches in our area. It's a little slow, but it does come up. That ensures that it stays down in the moisture, down in the seed trench, because here in Kansas, if the rain turns off and it gets really hot and windy, spoiler alert, that top inch of the soil will bake out super fast. We got to make sure we also get past all the residue. And I set it for 1 inch because we had a nice bit of subsoil moisture, looked like we were supposed to still get some more rain. I wanted this stuff to get planted, get up fast and established. That was a mistake. I should have just gone with what I normally do. We turned off dry and it got hot and windy for like 2 weeks straight. Now, a lot of it was trying to come up, but that sapped that top inch pretty quick. So between the residue, me not getting all the way down to 1 inch, and Mother Nature kind of being a jerk like she's been doing these last couple years, it slowed down the emergence and is made for a couple, like right here, you see it, kind of a thin spot. We've got a few of those. That being said, in these thin spots, there are some little plants coming up. So hopefully we'll get a few more things to kind of help cover these patches up. But all that being said, we do have a nice bit of biomass out here. We also do have a fair bit of weeds, but I will take some weeds with excellent biomass and high quality cow chow over having to chem pile this any day. So it doesn't worry me too terribly much. Now we've got our sunflower here. That's a nice big old sunflower. Here's another one of those kind of thin spots. But here we have man-can buckwheat. I believe this will be, I think this is the hybrid turnip. So there's going to be a lot of stuff out here that I'm going to have some trouble identifying, seeing as how there's, 55 different things out here. But nice bit of biomass, some blooming, some bugs already showing up, some not so great bugs showing up, but we're still growing. We're still thriving. For the most part, I like what I'm seeing here. There's one of the things I don't particularly like seeing. Go away. Get out of here. Dang grasshoppers. But as we walk through here, there's some spots with some really nice coverage. There's a spring pea or a winter pea here that's crawling up this buckwheat plant. Ooh, there's some of those good old radishes. That's some mustard down there. There's all sorts of good stuff out here. Though we've had our challenges, things are looking up for this cover crop. All of that hot, windy, dry time, that is kind of in our rearview mirror for now. And things that we're able to sprout, thanks to that nice bit of subsoil moisture we had going into planting this, they were able to root down and hold out through the heat, which I'm honestly impressed how well it held up. And now all those things that held on, they're thriving now. It has cooled down substantially. We're now in the high 70s, low 80s for highs. We're in a nice bit of a cool spell while this rain rolls in. That is going to give these things just all the gas in the world to just go full throttle and really start growing and producing some serious biomass. This cover crop out here is already looking better than our cover crop last year. These last couple of years have been challenging to grow anything, let alone a good cover crop. And it's nice to finally have some moisture and some decent growing conditions to see our fall crops to the end and to get this cover crop growing. But besides the high quality cow chow, the nutrient cycling, the forage, the erosion control, all that kind of good stuff, the other reason I'm really excited to see this cover crop thriving again is because I'm planning to host a field day first part of November or so with our local conservation district to show off a couple of different things. One, I want to brag on a 55 species cover crop blend. That's not something you see every day. I'm pretty happy about that. Also, I have a cover crop plot over here in a little 1 acre patch that my neighbor and I, who's also on the conservation district with me, we put together and we got planted in one weekend. It's already coming up. It looks great. I'm really happy with it. In addition to all that, there's also the 2 moisture sensors from Grow Guru that I have out here. Some of you might have seen those earlier videos while I was tracking stuff during the wheat growing season. Well, there's another experiment running right now. I have cover crop planted over top of one, and then the other one is just going to be chem fallowed. So we can track moisture usage from the cover crop versus moisture loss due to evaporation and stuff like that in the chem fallow side. And also, I really want to show off some data that shows that, yes, no-till cover crops, it takes a while to make it work. It is not maybe the easiest process in the world, but it does pay dividends later because this field used to have a horrid plow pan, hard pan, whatever you want to call it, at about 8 to 10 inches deep. It no longer has that. We have taken care of that, and the winter wheat had root activity down past 32 inches. Around here, that's pretty awesome. If you can get good root activity down that deep, you're having a pretty good day. So there's a lot of different things that I want to show here and have some data to back it up. So stay tuned. There's going to be more involving that. And on that note, we're going to have to call it good today because there's more rain coming in and I don't want to get my camera wet. So easiest way to help on my channel, like the video, leave a comment down in the comment section, thumbs up, tell me how much you love cover crops, how much you don't like cover crops. Have any questions about this cover crop? Let me know. Then share the video, share it with a friend, share it with an enemy, share it with another cover crop lover, share it with someone who's under the delusion that cover crops are a scam just to get their blood pressure up. And then if you like what you're seeing here and you want to follow along, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that little bell icon so you don't miss another video of everything we've got going on here at JTAC Farms. I hope to see you back next time. Thanks for stopping by.